What's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I'm Real King. If this is your first time, if you're a returner, welcome back. And I'm excited, y'all, because I have a cool video. This wasn't an expected video, so I just wanted to share this with you guys because, you know, I want you guys to get to understand and know me. And I'm sharing some of my exciting interests and things like that. So today did not go expected. So I was gonna get up, go donate, and I actually got up earlier than I normally do. And I went and everything was fine. Not a long wait on the bus, or excuse me, for the buses to get there. And this morning was a pretty it wasn't a hot or a humid morning, so that was really nice. So I didn't do a lot of sweating early getting to where I needed to go. So I got to the plasma place, and to my great surprise, there was really no lines. And I was like, wow, not a lot of people. And I noticed there wasn't a bunch of people in the parking lot when I came. So I was like, wow. I think I came about an hour and a half after they opened, so I was still shocked. I was expecting to see some kind of a line, and it really wasn't. So I got in, and a problem happened. So there's, you know, this particular place that I go to is very, I'm just gonna call it like I see it, ghetto. It's very ghetto, very unprofessional for the most part. And there are more instances where it is very unprofessional than there are other ones, you know that are professional, which is very embarrassing because it's all my people that work there, and out of those people, it's the females that are being so ratchet, stereotypically ghetto, and it's embarrassing. It really is. And as I think back, I've been donating plasma for years, since like the late 90s, I believe. And it seems it's only us in these places that act so just not right. And I'm just like, well, why do they keep hiring these people? It's bad for it. As these are my people, I feel like embarrassed, like this is messed up. But they don't give us much options to donate. So I went up in there, and there's this one chick, Yellow Bone. They just have the worst attitudes, just for no reason. So I think from the last time that I had came through, she got mad, or something was ticked her off about the way I said my answers. And then today, the same thing, and I heard her kind of like smirk or whatever underneath her breath after I had said something. But she was just being a jerk about everything. Then she tells me after I'm done, go to room 5. And I'm like, I don't even know why, but because they're just so bad at their job, they don't tell you why. So there was a couple other women. One woman was already there. Now, I didn't know what I'm supposed to do to number 5, because the door was closed and didn't nobody say. I didn't know nothing. So I sat down and expected to wait for somebody to call me. The first lady, then there was another lady that came 10 minutes after me. So the first lady got called in. Then it was just me and the other lady. Then the next lady got called in. So knowing me, I don't wait for something. I mean, if I get it in right there. So I was very upset. I said, hold up. I said, wait. I said to the lady that called the nurse or whatever, I said, what's going on with me? I said, I've been here while waiting like 30 minutes. Like, what's going on? And, you know, she didn't like my, reaction and my, body language, I guess. I don't know. So, long story short, she, I think she looked up based off of some basic information that she asked of me. And then she told me that, yeah, well, you're going to have to be seen over here at 5. and just wait for them to call. And of course, at this time, they had this little silly security officer coming around, and like he was undoing his stuff. You could hear the Velcro, tss, tss. And I'm just like, really, dude? Like, ain't nobody worried about you, Elroy. So, yeah. And I'm just, every time they do that, I never stay. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, I got here early. Everything went fine and fast. And then this hold up, I'm like, all of this was literally festering in my head in vast speeds, which it took me like maybe a few seconds to say, you know what? I'm out of this piece. And I was. And I just considered everything. I was like, you know what? I don't even need to be here. I got money. It ain't like I ain't got no dough. I have dough. I just wanted some mo dough. Anyway, so because of that, it was early. I was like, I'm not trying to go the way of my home. All the action is the opposite way. So instantly, I got in my mind, I'm going to go to my cigar place. So, I don't have the bag out anymore. Anyways, I showed y'all last time these cigars that I got from Holt Cigar Company, which was the sample pack. I have my thing up there. But anyways, I showed y'all that last time. I got 5 cigars from that monthly subscription and everything like that. And out of the 5, I have 4 left. I do have only 4? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. I thought I had more than 4, but I have 4. So today I did something out of my normal regime. Well, the thing is, I didn't go last week, so I wasn't calling myself making up. So I went to my cigar shop, and then I was literally only expected to spend not even $20. So when I went in there, I asked the guy. These guys are very helpful. I like going to that place. One of the guys, he greeted me, and I went up to him because I remember one of the YouTube videos, YouTubers that does the cigar channel. This was one of the things that they say as you're for new cigar heads, and so I am fairly new, so I have not done this proper question before. So I wanted, because you guys, I am gonna probably put those videos of my cigar experiences on my Facebook. So I'll post those on Facebook. I have a bunch of them. But so in one of my videos, in most of the videos, except for the very first one, I believe, or the second one, these cigars I've been smoking, I have not been realizing, or I have not been experiencing any flavor notes, and it's just weird. My first one I did very much, but then all the rest have not at all, none of them. So I keep hearing about these notes, and they sound so delicious with some of these high-end cigars. So I went up in there, and I remembered, you know what? I know the things that I like based off of what I've read, and I have, and other people's opinions on the sites, which is cool because I'm going for names and name brands, and some of these are kind of high-end or almost high-end. Now I'll get to that later, but. So I was like, you know what? I want to just go straight for the jug. I'm going to ask this guy, look, give me something with these flavor notes. I want to experience these deliciousness that everybody else talk about. So I went in there and I asked the guy, I said, I'm looking for some cigars with the flavor notes of like chocolate, caramel, cinnamon, stuff like that. And the guy was like, oh yeah. Pulled me right to the aisle, and he said, and I'm looking at these, and he's telling me, that this particular one I'm going to tell you guys about, or I'm show you guys, are very popular. That's another question that I was supposed to ask. You know, what are people buying and stuff like that? What are, you know, what are most people getting? And they had a lot of flavors. Oh, so there's different sizes, and I believe I got the biggest size. It was like a 6 by 60, big cigar, y'all. I initially got 3 of them, and then that's all I was. But see, what I did was, and they were very inexpensive. They were under $9, which was awesome. Like, what? So I was only expecting to get those 3. I should have only got those and dipped. But what I did is I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and check. And so I was kind of had the H. Hutman, what is that? H. Hutman, anyways, I can't think of the name. That really good one that I like. Anyways, I was thinking about just getting one of those. So I went over there and I looked at it. I was like, and then, I don't know, something told me I didn't want to get that one at that time. I mean, I like it. I love it. It's a great cigar. So I went ahead and I went the other way. I went around and checked some other cigars, and then I'm checking some names, seeing some names, and I go to another spot where they had the Oliva Series V ones, and I was like, wow. I remember getting the sample pack of these, and it was like $49. Good thing, a great sample pack, by the way. Great sizes. They were all like box cut, like box press cigars. They were so dope. For that price range, yeah, that's a good one. I might just get one of those again. They're worth it. So I saw those over there, and these were like expensive for like each stick. Those are expensive sticks. So I was looking around there, and there was a couple other guys that came, or another guy that came around, and then the guy that greeted me at the beginning, he gave me a little card. I was like, oh man, I didn't know they even had those. So I didn't have to carry the cigars in my hand. So I was like, dang. So I chilled over in that little spot a little bit longer, and I saw some goodies that I really wanted to get. So let me go ahead and first show y'all the flavor one I got. I did smoke one at the park earlier because I couldn't resist. And so, oh good, it's okay. Oh my gosh, guys. So this is the second one. I can already smell it through the package, y'all. This is gonna be so delicious. But the name of the company is Don Rafa Sweets. And this is a coconut rum. You guys can see that. And give you guys that view. There's the cap. There's the foot. That is a nice thick size. So one thing I will tell you guys about this cigar. Wow. It's oily. Once you take it out the wrapper, the cellophane is very oily, and it just exudes, you know, flavor. It's such a crazy burst of flavors right out the gate. And it's extremely mild smoke, meaning it's just that. It's a very flavorful, so like on your lips, you're getting all that. That's why it's probably from the oils. But it's just an aromatic, great, mild smoke. There's nothing offensive about this at all. So what happened was this. Being that I wasn't even expecting to get any cigars today, I didn't bring any equipment with me, except for my regular butane lighter. Bic, cheap, not even Bic lighter. And I had that with me, and that was it. But I remembered again when I first got into, someone was like, you know, there was a Q&A, and it was basically, you know, do you have to, and you know, what if you're in a pinch? If you're in a pinch, you got to do what you got to do. So what I did was I had my little knife. Luckily, I sharpened it. I cut a little bit of the tip of the cap off, and then that lighter. Oh my gosh! I'm glad it wasn't such a windy day. It got windier later. It was definitely breezier than it was the day before yesterday. But using that was very, very difficult. I ended up burning my thumb because the flame was blowing back towards my thumb, and I'm trying to light this thing, and it's just like, yeah. So it did good. I'm not gonna down the cigar because of the smoke. How it the what's it called? The burn was not even a lot of times, but I already know why. You know, it was a very breezy day, and that was not helping anything at all. But other than that, it was very enjoyable smoke, very delicious, very good smelling, good tasting, good experience. I would say I did smoke it too fast. I did that not because I wanted to, but because how big of a cigar that was. I should have been chilling on it a lot more. It was very hot at certain spots and very soft, which are signs that you're smoking a cigar too fast. And I was doing that because the weather was changing. It was getting more windy instead of breezy, which would have blown out my my light, and I would not have been able to light it back up. And I had like about that much of it left. It was a lot. So that's really the reason why I smoked it so fast. Didn't want to. I noticed a change of the taste, which is also a sign of your when you're smoking it too fast. I noticed the taste started getting a little bit more maybe intense. There was some spiciness that kind of kicked in at certain times, but it was really kind of depending on how lit the cigar was. I noticed that. So I had to kind of like finesse it because it was starting to, what is it called? They call that cocoon. You know, it was starting to go on one side like that, and I had to go ahead and try to figure out, even it out. But again, the wind was blowing more, you know, enough to where it was messing stuff up. So that's how that was. But anyways, I stayed until it started to like kind of start sprinkling a little harder, a little consistent, and then I dipped. But very good cigar, y'all. Very, very good, very good. So I got that, and then these are the other ones that I actually went back for to get. Now, if I believe they're all different than what I have. Yes, they are. Okay, good. And I don't think I even got one of these before. So the first one that I looked at was this one right here. I actually seen a video on this recently. One of the cigar people or videos that I watch on YouTube. I believe this is one of the ones that they were showcasing. And it's a good company. It's from a good family. And this was an easy one for me to get. I saw the name and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to think of the one that they were reviewing, and it was this one, Especial. Yeah, this one by Jaime Garcia. The band is really nice. They're by the My Father factory, which is a very good reputable cigar company. So I'm going to show you guys this cigar in a second. This is a 6x48, so it's a 6-inch long by 48 ring gauge. So this is actually considered a pretty small or narrow. I think this is a Toro. Let me see. I think this is a Corona. So this size is called a Corona size. How thin it is, narrow in the shape. So that's a Corona. And this is the cigar, you guys. Jaime Garcia. And you can look around and see the band. It says my father. Really nice, really nice. And here is where you can see the size, measurements, and all of that. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit too much. And you guys can see that's a pretty small ring gauge. So yeah, I got this one. I don't remember how much it cost. It wasn't too expensive. I really wasn't trying to get things that were like $12 or higher. I was really trying to keep them pretty low, being that I wasn't expecting to get these. So I got that one, and then in the same vicinity of the ones in the corner that I went to when I got the little basket. I thought I got this last time. Now I did see a couple of cigars that I really wanted to get. They're not that expensive. I believe they're under $20. But these were some pretty well talked about cigars, so I might have to get one or two of them next time I go up in there, and that might have to be it, unless I get some cheapies. But anyways, this was one that I've been wanting to get. I believe this is on my list online, and yeah, I saw this there, and I was like, okay, I gotta get this. I have to get at least one of these. I wasn't sure which one to get. This is by this is my father's cigar. So the last one I showed you is I believe, if I'm not, and I got to check on this, but I believe they are under the umbrella of My Father Factory, was the Jaime Garcia. I'll have to do some research on that. I'm not sure, I'm not too for sure, but this is the company, My Father. This is the La Opulencia. This is a Toro. So this is a 6-inch, the same length as the last one, but this is a 54 ring gauge. Okay, so the other one was at 48. This is a 54 Toro. Okay, so what that means is it's kind of flat on the top and the bottom, rounded off on the sides. It's not truly square like a box press, but it's not round traditionally either. It's got flatness on the top and on the bottom. It's very subtle, okay, but it's enough there for this particular shape. And yeah, and it's kind of, you can see it really well with this wrapper off. You can tell really well. Anyways, so yeah, now these are not only these are a looker. So you're getting both with this cigar. You're getting a beautiful looking presentation, which normally draws somebody's attention to that cigar. A cigar company is not going to put the quality in their bands just to do it, just to be on some BS, to just throw on some cheap cigars. They're going to do it on some. Now, you can get some cheaper cigars with some really nice band work, but I'm just saying generally, they're showing you their best work. And normally their best work is flashy, it stands out. Now there's sometimes it's very subtle, like Davidoff. But this one, this band, I remember when they did a review on this, they were talking about how beautiful the doggone bands were, and these are just no exception, y'all. Look at these bands. It's a double band. These are double bands, and then you have a foot band, which is synonymous with the My Father cigars. I mean, this is just a beautiful cigar, y'all. And as you can see on the back side, all the way around. Okay. And then you have the measurements and all the specifics right there. So that's it. Like I said, I smoked the chocolate one already, and flavored cigar, and there's like a ton of them. There's so many. So I plan on getting one of each one now. And those will be my daily-ish type of cigars, and then I can kind of just collect the more name brand ones and here and there, pop one out on an occasion or something like that, and do the damn thing. But I believe I want to make a collection so that way I have a good amount going into my traveling. So that's ultimately what I prefer to do. Just do it like that. I just prefer to save them up for traveling. So the more better ones, stuff like that. I don't know how the cigar shops are going to be where I go. So, but anyways, guys, that is what I did today. I also treated myself. I went to, because right in front of the cigar shop is this Shipley's donut place. And I just was like, well, I always see the back side of this. There's a front side where people can go in. So I checked it out, and there was really nobody in there. It was a nice wide open spot. And I went and checked out the donuts there. Now, I will say this. I was actually kind of taken back. I don't know if this is just how it is. I haven't been in a donut shop in years. Well before, COVID. And so I go into this spot, which is really nice and clean, but I'm seeing the donuts are like open. I'm not used to that. Normally, what is it, Krispy Kreme? They're behind where they were back in like the early 2000s. I don't know how it is now. And that was in Austin. But I thought they were supposed to have like, shields in front of them to kind of preserve them and, keep them fresh and, pest free, right? So they had nothing. And it didn't, and then when I was actually paying attention and looking, I'm seeing like flies just kind of like going, I'm like, what? Like, this is unhealthy and unsanitary to the T. I mean, what's going on here? So I ended up getting 3, I know, right? So I ended up getting 3 donuts. They were, I don't know if they were expensive. I only spent like $7, but I got like a Gatorade as well. So, and that was like $2. So it wasn't a bad experience. These filled, what they called, cream filled bars, big ones. They were pretty doggone big. One with Bulgarian cream, Bavarian cream. Is that what it's called? Bavarian cream. I got a strawberry cream filled, and then I got a lemon filled. And I guess it was because it was National Donut Day. I got a free one, a free glazed donut. So that was pretty cool. But it was a good experience. I did that, and I went, to the park, and I knew that was a big cigar to smoke. So I was expecting to, be there for like 2 hours or something around there. I think I might have was close, but it was a very peaceful day. And then I had to take care of something on the way home, last minute stop, and I went ahead and did that, got that out the way. So it's been a very productive day. I am very excited about, my weekend that's coming up. I got my Shabbat, in the next few hours. And let's see. And yeah, I'm just counting down the days. So till next week, till I get paid. Now, obviously, so I'm going to tell you guys this. It's not even a big deal, but I had said at first, based off of the situation before this morning, I was wanting to get my hair done in addition to, something for myself for my birthday. But because I went pretty ballistic and I didn't get the money that I was expecting to get, which is the 47 today, and then I spent a bunch of money. So I'm actually going to go into next week well under $100. And so I will just I'll try it again. I'll go in Monday, and then by Wednesday, which I believe is when I get paid, I will go in for my second time. So I'll at least have something. But I don't want to spend so much at once. And so I'm only going to do one of the things instead of doing, my other thing plus get my hair done. I'll just get my hair done maybe in 2 more weeks. And all that. So that's fine. But, so yeah. So I just wanted to let you guys know I have chosen to resist because I want to save up this money. I want to save it. I want to save it up as fast as I can. I want to get a good little amount saved up anyways. But this weekend, I'm going to be looking into remote jobs. And that way I want to have something for you guys. Some information for you guys and stuff like that. So I'm going to be working on that today and tomorrow, and kind of see what my options are, and kind of find out some questions that I was having and thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's going to be pretty fun, enjoyable. I'm also going to be looking into. No, let me pause on that. I don't know if I'm going to be looking into that quite yet. Oh, I got to take care of my. I want to be taking care of my premiums so I can get my insurance going, because I need to get an exam to get me some better glasses, and then I also need to start. I need to find me a physician so I can start doing my rehabilitation on my knee, because I want to get back into skateboarding, y'all. So, anyways, if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys know anybody that is interested in content that I put out, let them know it's good. Also, hit that notification bell so that way you guys are notified when my videos are uploading. Now that I have a week or so off, I'm going to be doing more videos and stuff like that, guys. Give you guys a little bit extra, you know, to kind of make up for some of those days last week or the weeks before where I wasn't, able to put out much content and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more content and stuff like that. I have the time to. So anyways, y'all, appreciate y'all stopping by, checking out the video. I'm Real King, back at it again.